SNMP and syslogging, another important topic. So we will be seeing, we will be looking forward how we can configure the SNMP on our firewall. SNMP enable us to monitor the hardware and other information from the network. As you can see, can configure the hardware to report the system information and send traps, alarms, or event messages to SNMP manager. SNMP trap alert us to an event that happens, such as like CPU, memory utilization, disk usage, network, and any other more information. So most likely SNMP is a protocol which help us to monitor the performance of any hardware. Actually, it can be server, it can be router, switch, firewall, all those hardware we need to manage them on a day-to-day basis. So mostly, as you can see, it send the traps, then send, get, and set requests, and all those information. Okay, so this is what we're doing. Let's have a look at the lab as well. In the labbing, the Syslog we do the labor. So this is the labs we do doing the SNMP lab. Also, before we do the other thing, we can also configure the syslogging as well. So Farooq, we have combined the syslog and SNMP together, right? The lab. Okay, system logging protocol syslog is a way network devices can use standard message format to communicate with the logging server. So normally, if you see, when you verify something, we always go into the log report and check the traffic forward here. Now, these logs are going inside the memory, okay, and or they can be saved on the cloud as well if you have configured the cloud. But mostly all the logs, if you have not configured any destination, they goes into the logs actually. Now, what is the challenge actually? If they goes into the memory, what will happen? What do you think? Hmm? Yeah. Yeah. 1 point. Anything else? Yes. Very another good point. So, and memory, if the router rebooted, for example, if I look the last 24-hour usage is the 61% actually, almost continuously going 61%. So memory is is important for any device. CPU utilization is more important. We can see how many sessions, our current session are 34 for last 24 hour. These are the sessions we can see 30 to 35 to 50 sessions are going through. Now, the memories are important part actually. So if you are filling up the memory, and the other problem which described the Bilal, that if we configure the memory and the memory get filled, first problem is the memory can get lost, and if the device is rebooted, we leave the log. And also the other problem is when the logs are completely filled, okay, completely filled, what happened? You cannot recover the initial logs. It always rewrite the previous one. So maybe the memory logs can be complete for there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, for example. But if you need to keep these logs for a longer period of time, you need to send this to the logging server. So in our lab, what we are going to do is that we will be configuring SNMP and logging so we can monitor the performance of the labs devices. In the workbook, if we go in the workbook actually here, this is the lab SNMP. So, so let's look what are the configurations are there. Okay. So as SNMP, we need to log in the device. Then we need to go into the global. Okay. That's why the global VDOM is also important, because global VDOM will allow you to, because we are not monitoring the device at the VDOM level. We will be monitoring the device at the global level. So that configuration will go into the global, where we are putting the device description, location, hi Sayed, and the email address in case any events need to be generated, and then other information. We have our SNMP server, which is the IP address, I think, Farooq 10.250.251. We will be, the main thing is the local port and the password, like a string. String is like a password actually, right? So also we go into the network interface level, and from which interface you want to send those traps. So Farooq, we are configuring on the WAN side. Oh, yeah. 10.205. Yeah, it's a management IP. So you need to also mention from which interface you want to send the logs as well. Okay. Send the second thing is we can configure the log setting. Okay, in the logging level, this is the server 10.250.255 is also our logging server. So we are configuring SNMP and logging side by side, and then after that we will logging into this server. The username and password is already provided. I think user 01, they are already provided in our spreadsheet as well. So please refer to that spreadsheet, right? I think these, I think I've seen this spreadsheet, Farooq. So it should be in the spreadsheet where the user level, huh? Yeah, yeah, these one. Yeah. So user one and password is user one zero 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 user two. Cisco is capital at 123. This is the password has already been provided to you. So just to keep in mind, you can log into the device, and then after that you can check all those configuration. So let me just configure that. So first of all, configuring, we need to go into the global, then we go into the systems, I think, related to SNMP, and here after logging in, okay. So first of all, agent, SNMP agents need to be configured. SNMP agent. So this is the FortiGate 100. That's the name of the description, London. This is the my email or whatever you want to do. This is just a global configuration for you. You're not configuring yourself, guys, because we do not have many SNMP server. There's only SNMP server in our environment. So this lab is just for you to understand how the SNMP configured on the device itself. Now, after that, we need to create SNMP version 1, version 2. Okay. And here are the further detail, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 steps. So community name, Farooq, the community name is fortraylab.com. Okay, keep in mind, this community lab must match on the other side. So please don't make any mistake, because community is like a password for you. Then enable it, which is already done. IP address, you are putting 10.205.0.251. Okay. This is the accept queries and send trap, or we need to do accept queries and send traps. IPv6 is not required. The port is 161. We are not configuring version 1. We are only doing version 2. So SNMP has 3 versions, version 1, version 2, and version 3. I'm not going to teach you here the details of those, but we are disabling the version 1, and the version 1 is the port 161, and this is 162. And also you can see all these information, SNMP related events will be generated by default, right? For us. Now you just enable it and apply it as well. Okay, the configuration is saved now. So again, you can look at this configuration, just the community, enable community, and then the version 1 must be enabled, version 2, port is 161, and this is for the query, this is for the traps. 60 port 61 and 61, 62, SNMP version 1, version 2, and version for queries 161, for this one is the okay. So these are the traps we will be saving from there. Yeah, this one is disabled. 36 events has already been generated. There is no IPv6. Once we apply the next lab, we are going to do the, I think, interface. And on the interface, we need to explain from which interface we will be receiving queries and sending the traps as well. So because our server SNMP server 10.205.100 network, so we need to add it. And on this, we need to make sure we need to enable SNMP. So first point is creating the SNMP configuration. Second, allow the SNMP on this port. So you correctly connected to this SNMP. Are you sure you want to continue? Yeah. Because if you are making the changes on the same network, this is the interface you log in, we will be using on the WAN 2 from where you are sending the receiving the query. So wherever the network you are working later on, please check from which network you want to send receive the SNMP traps. Logging point of view, logs and reports, log settings. Here you can see IP addresses. Yeah, this is 10.250.51. FortiGate cloud. So the logs are going to send to FortiGate clouds. It's already connected because we have a license. Upload options every 5 minutes. This is for the cloud configurations, okay? Okay, Forti Analyzer and Forti Manager as well. Forti Manager is like where you manage all the FortiGate devices from one platform, and it can also collect the logs as well. And Forti Analyzer is also kind of a, think about it like a dedicated logs and reporting system for FortiGate actually. Okay, so you can send the logs to this location as well. Now the next stage, we are going to log into the SNMP server. Sorry, I think it's the two, Farooq, we have, I think 251. I think that's wrong. It's 251, right? 1 minute. Yeah, it's actually, yeah, 1 second. So 251 HTTPS. HTTP, okay. Right. And the password is user01 and the password Cisco at 123. So I'm saving this password. So here you can see multiple devices. This is our SNMP server, Observium, and where we monitor all our devices. You can see 24 devices are already included here, and we can check the status of those devices. 100 is this device for Farooq? Yeah, I think it's just configured. So this is here. You can keep these logs and also not the key, all the performance related information here. And as you can see, we are also receiving Syslogs logs as well at the same time. Okay, so this is the device name, versions, system name, uh, email, registered serial number, 1 hour, and so on. And you can see after, because it just came online, we just configure that. So you can see this is the performance of the device actually. Similarly, you can monitor the performance, OSPF, port numbers, health, all these information can be checked. Mostly the NOC team have a system where they have observed all the information, health, ports, routing, inventory. These are all information. And these are the logs because we also configure the logs as well. Device status is up because we just configured. Okay, this was done before, and then now you can see is sending the logs. We can also check the logs from the, if I go to root And when we go to the forward traffic, and let me check if we, we should see the logs from here as well. I think it pull up the logs from the logging server, or maybe we mostly go into the logging server and check all the details. Yeah. So this is the FortiCloud, because FortiCloud is also configured now, where it's sending the logs as well. Okay. So you can see these logs are coming here, and memory and traffics all are here. Device availability. Okay, uptime, memory, traffic, availability. Here you can see this graph. So if your manager asks you, please give me the graph. I want to see that graph, SNMP graph, because it's very important that you, some customer, if you're managing the devices of the customer, you need to present these in the reporting system, that how the device is working. Okay, and yeah, so you see this is the uptime of the device, 100%. But it goes down because we disable this in April, May, and June. Okay, because it's a lab device, sometimes it goes down as well. Anyway, this is how you will be checking all the status with the SNMP and other logging. I'm sure that's clear.